Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. We kick off Breeders' Cup 2019 Future Stars Friday with race number 5 kicking off at pick 5. It's at 5 furlongs and it's the Grade 2 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. You can bet all the Breeders' Cup action with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $150, start firing away with $300. Bet the Breeders' Cup with drf.com/bet. Let's meet the field for this year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. And Mike, it's an overflow field, and Wesley Ward has a very powerful hand.
Yeah, he's got 3 in here. 2 of them are fillies, but his 3 horses are 7 for 8 combined in their life. 5 furlong turf sprint. His horses usually have speed, and speed wins these races.
Of course, you have European invaders coming in here. They are very well represented, some top barns, and it's, again, an overflow field. Can't really predict the time form U.S. pace projector. They didn't even try with all these European runners in this race. So we'll just take this field in post-position order, beginning with a pretty hickory turf sprinter trained by Michael Maker. That's the number 1 Chimney Rock. He's really done nothing wrong in his last 3 races. My main issue with him is he doesn't have a lot of early speed. He breaks from the inside, and he's going to need a lot of things to go his way.
Yeah, he's just going to need a real trip in this race. He's not untalented, Dan. I actually like him as a turf sprinter, but he's a closer. Going 5 furlongs, the 2 Wesley Ward fillies have beaten him in his last 2 races, but he's run well in those races. He's not bad, this horse.
Number 2 is Band Practice, and I'm really not sure what more you could ask of this filly. She's won her last 3 races overseas, getting Lasix for the first time. She won a stakes race in France last time out. She seems to handle any kind of footing, and unlike many of the European runners, she seems to have a good amount of early speed. The question is class. I know she won that stakes race last time out in France. This seems like a step up.
Yeah, it probably is. She's actually run well in her last 3 races. I think the other thing to note about her, you mentioned that she has speed, and she does. That's a really good thing for her. Not that she needs the lead, but boy, she got absolutely loose last time on the lead in that French stakes race. Went unchallenged throughout the race and won very easily. That will not be the case in here.
The number 3, another miracle from the first crop of American Pharoah. It seems these American Pharaohs really like the turf thus far. This one, another miracle, won the Skidmore Stakes at Saratoga. Do you think he was exposed a little bit last time out in the futurity when finishing behind the Wesley Ward trained 4-wheel drive?
Not necessarily. I actually don't think he ran poorly in that race at all. Behind 4-wheel drive, it was just sort of a close finish for the leftovers, and there you couldn't get it. But he didn't run poorly in that race. This horse has some talent, but this is a tough spot for him.
The number 4 is Dream Shot, another European getting Lasix for the first time. This horse has a lot of experience. He's started 8 times in his career. He's also finished behind several of these runners. His big win came in an allowance race over a synthetic surface. He might be the kind of horse best used underneath in single race exotics.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get these. I sort of felt the same way you did. I didn't love his form. He was second in a pretty good race, 2 back, but he was only second, without ever looking like he was going to win, and he just got up at the end.
The number 5 Encoder won his career debut sprinting on the turf. I really like that race from this John Sadler trainee. He's an English Channel. He probably doesn't want to go 5 furlongs. He broke in a little bit. He went in, out, altering course 4 wide in the upper stretch, and then just ran him down in the lane, far from embarrassed in his 2 route efforts, but turning all the way back. Do you think he's just going to get out sprinted here?
It's possible that he will. That being said, I think this horse has talent. I really liked his debut. I thought he ran really well in that race. If he's a price, I'm using him.
The 6 is Alligator Alley, and I liked his race 3 starts back, going 5 furlongs at Goodwood. He was near the back of the pack, and he was just steadied very badly when trying to split horses in the straight. He still finished second best. He came back on August the 24th at York, got sandwiched coming out of the gate, was far back, was in tight down inside when trying to rally, still got the job done. Beaten favorite last time out in a Group 2, and it's becoming a little bit of a bad habit, him not getting out of the gate very well, but here come the blinkers, here comes Lasix, and this horse has some talent.
He does. His races over the summer are going to make him really tough in here. He ran well in those races. I don't know what happened last time. Maybe it's just a situation where he just didn't fire for whatever reason, but he did not run well last time, and he has to rebound.
The number 7 is Kumari. This is the Wesley Ward trained filly. The only blemish in her 4-race career came when she went to Royal Ascot and she was beaten ahead in the 25-horse Group 2 Queen Mary Stakes. She came back to Saratoga. She won the Bolton's Landing in gate-to-wire fashion. And the Chalk Eaters were getting a little bit worried last time out in the Indian Summer Stakes because that's Kumari in last. And she's got a lot of work to do, Mike. It doesn't look like she has any chance. Not only does she win, she wins going away.
Yeah, she wins comfortably in this race. She's really talented. That's Chimney Rock to her inside right there, and he runs a good race in his own right, making an earlier move. But Kumari just runs right by him in the stretch. She's really good. The Queen Mary, the only loss you mentioned, she ran great that day, up on the pace and just getting nailed. She's a player in here.
The number 8 is Dr. Simpson, a European filly getting Lasix for the first time. She has some early speed, and she comes out of that same prep that Declaration of Peace used when winning the 2017 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. It was a synthetic race at Dundalk Stadium. I thought she was pretty game to win that race after it looked like she was getting past turning into the upper straight. She likes left-handed turf courses. Listen, she's going to have to prove it against tough horses, but I like the way she finished off the last race. She's going to be a price in here.
She is going to be a price. She has the speed to get forward, too, and that's a good thing in her races. She was no match for Alligator Alley back in August, but that horse coming off a bad race, she's coming off a good one.
The 9 is Four-Wheel Drive, an American Pharaoh colt trained by Wesley Ward. So impressive. Winning his career debut in a stakes race at Colonial Downs. We were very excited to see what he would do in the Grade 3 Futurity. They turn into the stretch. He settled beautifully off this lone speed. Attacks on the outside. He's drifting out a little bit in the stretch. This ground, I think, was a little bit more testing than firm, but he ran fast. An 86 Beyer speed figure, enough speed to get into the scrum without getting involved into a battle. He's probably the horse to beat in here.
Yeah, I think he might be, Jan. I don't know about you. I'm not against this horse. I'm definitely going to use him. I was really taken with both of his races. As you mentioned, he has speed but doesn't need the lead. He won that race very easily last time. I don't see how you play this race and don't use him somewhere.
Perhaps the best of the Europeans is coming up next. That's the number 10, Ali, who has won 3 of his last 4 races. All those wins in Group 2 company. 2 in Britain, 1 in France. He's now getting Lasix for the first time. We're going to go back to his second lifetime start, the Norfolk Stakes. This was a Breeders' Cup win and you're in race for this. It was over soft ground and Frankie Dettori got him home.
Yeah, just, what you really want to notice about this race, Dan, is that not only is he in a lot of traffic here, just sort of in among horses in those gold silks, but this is his second career start, and he's a maiden in this race. He gets clear. He comes with a good finish. He exited this spot, and he's won 2 of his last 3. The only loss, soft ground, going 6 furlongs. I mean, he's really sharp early, but he doesn't need the lead, as evidenced in this race where he was off the pace and finishing strong. There's a lot to like about this horse.
He's also pretty game as well. He made the lead a little bit early under Frankie. This horse is coming at him. He digs in to get the job done. This is a horse that I have to use. He brings a lot of European class to the fray. The 11 is King Neptune. King Neptune's dropping out of the Middle Park Stakes, a Group 1, a really classy race in Europe. He was 66-1 that day. He's getting Lasix for the first time, and while he's on an 8-race losing streak and is still a turf maiden, when O'Brien and Ryan Moore won this race a couple of years ago, Declaration of Peace was a turf maiden that had done his best running on synthetic.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he has to turn it around in this race and just run better. They tried to shake it up last time and put him on the lead in that race, and that didn't work out, but he doesn't have to run that way. He's been close against some good horses, and maybe this is just the right spot for him, but there are things that make you worry about a horse like him.
Let's watch the 12, Cambria's most recent start. First start against boys. She made it 3 for 3 in the Kentucky Downs Juvenile Turf Sprint. Now this race is at 6.5 furlongs. She's going to have to turn back to 5 here. You see her edging into 3rd place, and she's going to come with a really nice run to run down with Chimney Rock breathing down her neck in the lane. She's pretty game. She's pretty good. This seems like a lousy post position.
It does. This is a nice win for her because you can see Chimney Rock really barreling down on her, but she's going to dig in and hold. It makes her 3 for 3 in her life. She probably has to improve again to beat this field, but she's got a nice pedigree for a great trainer.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. As Mike mentions, there are a lot of horses you can consider this race. We are kicking off a pick 5. I went with the price, Dr. Simpson. Beat older horses, albeit getting a weight break last time out in that prep that was used by Declaration of Peace a couple of years ago. I like her early speed. She can get into the mix. I went 8, 10, 11, and 9. I'm probably using all 4 of those horses in the pick.
It's probably the kind of race where you want to take some coverage for sure, because trips are going to have a lot to say about the outcome. I like the races that Ali has been running over there. I think he comes over here a sharp horse, and his running style just gives Frankie some options. I like that about him. I'm not against four-wheel drive at all. They were my main 2. I went 10, 9, 5, 7.
Yeah, I'm going to use four-wheel drive. I'm going to use Ali along with the price play, the 8, Dr. Simpson. We kick off the Pick 5 on Future Stars Friday. Heck, we kick off the Breeders' Cup 2019 two-day extravaganza with the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. Bet it with that DRF Bets account. Deposit $150. Start firing away with us with $300. Bet the Cup with DRF Bets at drf.com/bet. An approximate post time for our first Breeders' Cup race in 2019, 1:12 Pacific. Good luck.